Oh, it's going to be a good day. We're in a Bentley Continental GT V8. How can that be anything but a good day?
You thought I was playing?
So what to do with the Continental GT V8 when you've got it for just a few hours? Well, I think it's fish and chips. That'd be the sensible thing to do, wouldn't it? Go get some fish and chips. Now the new Continental GT V8 comes in a couple of different guises. You can go for the coupe like this for a mere $325,000, or if you want to go maximum extrovert, take on a convertible for $355,000. Now both of those figures are $40,000 cheaper than the W12, the 6-litre W12 versions of the same vehicles. So you could say that the GT V8 is entry level to Continental GTs. Well, it is, because $325,000, that's your entry level price. It's still a lot of money, and in fact this vehicle, although it's largely standard, I asked if it was standard spec and they said yes it is, but the list price on this one is $433,000. So somehow it's gone up another $100 and something thousand. That's because it's got different stitching, it's got inductive phone charging, it's got slightly different wheel design, although 21s are standard on this vehicle. It's got the special seats, it's got a city driving pack, it's got a few other little bits and pieces going on that add another $110 odd thousand to the price. So $433,000 for this particular example. But money well spent, you'd have to say, wouldn't you, eh? Under the long, expansive bonnet out in front of me lurks a twin-turbo V8. It has a 4-litre capacity and it delivers 404 kilowatts of peak power at 6,000 RPM and 770 Newton meters of torque between 2,000 and 4,000 RPM. So sufficient, you'd have to say. Now the vehicle weighs 2,165 kgs, which is no featherweight, but that big 4-litre twin turbo out the front is able to pick it up and hurl it down the road from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4 seconds. Top speed on this, 198 miles per hour, which is 318 kilometers an hour. So quite quick. So if you're late to the club, it's entirely your fault. Fuel consumption, yes, it does consume fuel. 11.2 litres per 100k is the quoted combined cycle fuel economy on this vehicle, which is 0.9 litres per 100k better than a similarly spec'd W12. So you're doing your bit for the environment also in driving this, compared with driving the W12, not compared with walking. Part of the feeling of specialness of being inside the Bentley is the visuals. It's just so gorgeous. It's so unlike any other car. Yes, it's got a heap of technology. I mean, you've got this lovely rotating screen here, which has got 3 facets to it. There's the analog instruments. There's the digital display, which is touchscreen, of course, for accessing everything. And of course, when you shut the car up, it goes to just a blank facade there. But you've got this lovely chrome line that extends all the way from the instrument binnacle right through the side of the dashboard, down the side of the doors, you know, right around that dashboard. The whole thing is long and low and lean and uncluttered. You know, it's all just so refined, so incredibly well engineered, so perfectly weighted, so immaculately presented visually and tactilely. It's a real celebration of what you can achieve when you spend 100 odd years making cars. So we're doing over 100 kilometers an hour. We're doing 100 kilometers an hour on smooth tarmac, and listen to how quiet it is. That's very quiet. But I can also just turn this rotary controller from Bentley mode to sport mode, and you probably won't hear that, but there's a bit more basso rotundo comes in there. We get a little bit more of a deep burble from that exhaust out the back. And one thing you do get on the V8 that is more than you get on the W12 is exhaust pipes. You get 4 on here. W12, you only get 2. Now I see on my infotainment system it says that the spoiler is currently retracted, so let's change that because I can deploy the spoiler. It's a deployable spoiler. So I go to spoiler and now I see I've got Eco and Sport. So Eco means, according to the little diagram here, comes up a little bit. Can't see anything out the back. I believe it's up there, but I would not know. And Sport means it goes up higher, and I still can't see it. Look, there may not even be a spoiler there for all I know, but the pictogram on the dash here says the spoiler's up, so that's good. So now we've left the main highway and we're going down a little bit more of a curvier road, and we can start to feel how the Continental GT V8 handles corners. Well, there was one right there, went round fine. Here's another one coming up. Let's see how we go. This one goes the other way. Yep. Goes round right-hand corners too. Yeah, it's really encouraging in corners. It belies its size and weight. I think those 79 kgs that it doesn't weigh compared to the W12 have all been taken away from the front, and makes it more eager to turn in and to hold a line without feeling like it wants to understeer. Not that the W12 is bad. I mean, they're all active all-wheel drives, these cars anyway, so you've got 4 tyres putting in the effort on the road surface, but this thing just feels a lot more agile. I don't feel quite as intimidated by this car for some reason than I did on the W12. Maybe I've just got older and wiser and more experienced, I don't know. I doubt it. It's a shame when you've got the car for just one day and that day starts with rain, because it's just taken the edge right off the absolute beauty of the sheet metal on this vehicle. It's just stunning. Those rear guards, how finely those creases are rendered, it's just great. But unfortunately, because you had that bit of rain earlier on, it's looking a little bit sadder. But anyway, it's still a Bentley Continental GT V8. I mean, come on. It's never going to be a bad looking car, is it? It's lunchtime anyway. Let's go get those fish and chips. We've arrived at lunch. Now, we're actually come to Kaiawa because they make the best fish and chips around, don't they? It's Monday. They're closed. But of course, I knew that. I looked on the line before I came down here. So I knew that the Kaiawa fish and chip shop would be shut today, but I wasn't going to miss the opportunity to take the Continental V8 for a decent drive. You like that? See how the seat belt was proffered to me by this little apparatus here? Isn't that nice and thoughtful, huh? It actually is a really capable tourer, and not just transcontinental straight roads tourer, windy, twisty coastal roads with lots of undulations and crap surfaces like we have tourer. So it seems really well suited for New Zealand. I think it seems, as I say, probably better suited to this country and our little roads and quirky terrain than the W12, because the W12 really likes to open its legs up. Oh, sorry. But the W12, I think, really just wants to stretch its legs, open itself up and go straight and true like an arrow, and nothing does it better than that, frankly, for going straight and true as an arrow. This thing is, I think, happier in corners than the W12 is. So if you like driving as much as I do, and you've got a spare 335 grand lying around down the back of the couch, you should try the Continental GT V8, because you might be surprised just how rewarding it is as a driver's car. I'm really enjoying it, really enjoying it. man, what a way to cover the planet.